creating a Microsoft Word, the first thing we need to do is change the layout into landscape. After doing that, we can now insert a photo for the background or the frame of our certificate. As you can see, I cannot move it properly because of the screen orientation. So we need to do is to click the picture and then right click and then choose wrap text and then click behind the text. After that, we can now move it freely and set it into what we want. After setting the border into its place, we can now proceed to typing the citation for our certificate. As you can see, after typing the word certificate, I am trying to change its font size, and then I put it on the middle. After that, I change its font color for it to match in our frame or in our border, and then I continue on typing the citation. At this point, I'm changing the font style and the font size of the text below the word achievement for us to achieve a cleaner look on our certificate. After that, I selected all the text and set its spacing to 1. Click the underline button and then stop typing the name. I just put name of employee because I can't think of a name right now, and then adjust its font and font size. Just make sure to make it big. Then after that, we can now proceed on typing the rest of the citation in the certificate. And after that, I highlighted the text and modified its font size and font style just to make it clean and match on the aesthetic of the certificate. I click this button to move the text on the left side, and then I started to type my name because I can't think of any name. I want this to that underline, so I click this button because this is the part where the employer will sign. So I put IT chairperson below because I can't think of any position in a company. Then adjusted the size. Then I just made sure that the text below is just in the center of the name. And after that, I changed the color of the text. I clicked this button just to change the position of the text from left to right, and after that, I adjusted it. After that, we're just going to save it, and that's how we create a Microsoft Word certificate. So the first thing we need to do is to create a class record template. So I click this cells and then merge it. Then after merging it, I selected a font. Then I started typing the name of the school or of my school. So I selected a couple of cells just to merge it and then put some details just like this. I put the subject, the schedule, and then the name of the instructor. So I just selected cells and then merged it and then tried to put the important informations just like the student's name, complete name, first name, middle initial, last name. And then after that, I selected and merged this cell and then write midterm just for us to know that this is the midterm, and this is where we're going to write and compute the grades. I tried to put the name of the students, their first names, and then their middle initials, and then their last name. So I put grades under class standing, and then for their quizzes also. So after this, I'm going to show you how to add the quizzes of the students. On the formula bar, we're going to type equals sum, and then we can click or simply just type the cell number of the first quiz, and then add the addition sign, and then click or type the cell number of the second quiz and then enter. After it will just display the answer, and then we're going to select the cell and then drag it down for us to get the sum for all the quizzes. In solving the grade, we will type equals in the formula bar as the cell number of the class standing times 0.10 because it is 10% of the overall grade plus the quiz percentage cell times 0.40 or 0.40 because it is 40% of the overall grade plus the cell number of the exam cell times 0.50, because it is 50% obviously. Okay, that's times, then enter, and then there's the grade. Now we can now drag it down to get the rest of the grades for the rest of the students. For solving the rating, I'm going to flash the formula on the screen and put it also in the description box because it's very long. So after typing the formula, it will now automatically display the rating of each student. Now we're going to drag this down to get all of the ratings. At this point, I made some revisions on the class record and I added another term because I'm going to show you how can we compute the final grades. In solving for the final grade, we're going to type equals in the formula bar plus the cell number of the midterm grade times 0.50 plus the cell number of the final grade times 0.50 divided by 100, and then that's it. That's the final grade. Now we're going to select this cell, then drag this down to get all of the final grades. So for the final rating, the formula is in the description box. You guys can check it out. So I added a remarks column for us to easily see if the students did pass or failed the subject. As you can see, I already made some rules here and I'm going to show you how to do it. The first thing is we're going to highlight these cells and then click this and then color cells and then click this and then this format only, and then that's okay now. And then we're going to click this and we're going to write failed. Then after that we're going to choose a color and then okay. So at this point, I'm changing all the grades just to show you what happens if someone fails. So as you can see, it turned color red. So at this point, we can now design and modify our class record. We can choose whatever color that we want, whatever font styles that we want. It's really up to us now. And that's how you create a class record. In creating an invitation, the first thing we need to do is to create a rectangle and then drag and drop our preferred background. And then after that, we're going to fit it on the rectangle that we created. And then after fitting it, we're going to click here and then we're going to choose whatever or however we want it to blend in the background. If you're now okay with that, you can simply double click it. We can now proceed on making our border. So making a border, we're going to click this to create a rectangle. By creating a rectangle, we need to make sure that it is even from top to bottom, left to right. So if it's okay with you and if it satisfies you, we selected a color earlier, so that color will now pop in the center of the rectangle that we've made. So after that, we're going to drag and drop a photo, a wedding photo. After that, we're going to drag down the photo and then we're going to make sure that it is even so that it won't look so stretched. And then we're going to choose here for it to blend on our background. So as you can see, it removes the background of our inserted photo. So at this point, we're going to add some text. So I'm going to choose a font. So after choosing the font, I proceeded to typing the name of the bride. After that, we're going to choose a font color. After that, we're going to wrap text it. We're going to choose how curvy we want it to be. We're going to add another text. And after that, we're going to wrap text it as well. I'm gonna adjust this text on the left side and also this one. I'm going to change its font size. So we're going to add another text. It's the groom's name. We're going to adjust the font size of this text into a bigger one. And we're going to wrap text this as well. So I'm going to move this text just to balance it out. So I'm going to add a text for the details of the wedding. I'm going to change its font size. And we're going to type now the details of the wedding. I feel like the font is too ugly, so I'm going to change it to another font. I'm going to change the color of this text just a little bit darker than the names or the text above. I'm going to adjust the position of this text. And I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. At this point, I'm going to add some of the details of the wedding. Here I'm going to adjust the font again, a little bit smaller than the other one, because I'm just going to add a note. So I decided to put a flower decoration on the top of this invitation. So I'm going to drag this name down. And also this one. And also this one. I'm just going to adjust it just to make it cleaner. Now we're going to drag and drop a photo. And I'm going to rotate this photo just to achieve the position that I wanted. After doing so, we're going to drag this up. And this also. Just it won't be so stretched. And we're going to click here just to blend it on the background. After that, we're going to adjust it upwards. And then that's it. We're just going to save it and have it printed, and you have a wedding invitation.